Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I will be talking about the materials that I like to use in my colorings and that I use quite a lot. So for starters I've grabbed two colored pencils. They're from the Colorsoft range by Derwent. It just is a random pick. I wanted to start with the pencils themselves. I do like to work with markers, being alcohol-based or aqua-based, but for my main colorings I always jump to colored pencils. I've started my journey with some cheap ones, the Marker Affines. Afterwards I got the Marker Noirs, who were a bit more waxy and softer. And then I took the jump and bought myself some Prismacolor pencils. And from there on, I have been buying and receiving other brands of pencils, soft-leaded ones, hard-leaded ones, and I can definitely say that I love every set that I have, even the hard Erogitan pencils. On some kind of, or on some type of papers, they work fantastically, and it's the same with softer pencils. Some paper quality won't accept wax-based pencils or softer pencils, but they love harder leaded, like the Polychromoses or Pablo pencils, or even the Erogitan. So I'm really happy that I have a wide range to test out on pictures. If I start coloring in a particular picture in no matter what book, and I feel that my, for example, oil-based pencil is a bit not as fluid as I want it, then I can hop on to a softer pencil. So, and I really like the feeling of a good pencil in my hand, and the Colorsoft that I'm holding here is a softer pencil. The name is saying it all, and yeah, it's just fantastic to be able to experience different kind of pencils, and colored pencils are just my preferred item to work with, purely on paper, but also above a base layer of some other medium, and that can be a marker or an aqua marker or even paint. So, but it's almost not very common that I leave a picture purely with a watercolor base. Most of the time I use extra shading with colored pencil. Only if I think I have achieved a nice color combo in watercolors, then I can leave it alone without doing pencil work on top. But for most of the time I grab at my pencils to add some extra shading. So first material that is, I can't think away of when coloring are my sets of colored pencils. The second product is also a colored pencil, but the white one. So any brand will do. Some brands have a more how can I explain it? Have a white that blend the colors, but some brands have a white that is really white and gives a white reflection on your paper, like the Luminance pencil. There's a specific one in the Holbein range also. I forgot its name. You have two whites in the Holbein range. The Derwent drawing one is also a very white one. The Prismacolor one is more of a blendable, I think. Compared to the others, it's more a blendable one, and this also. But a white pencil is always nice if you want to do some highlights in hair, or if you have left a lighter border on an object to give it extra detail. It's nice to use a white pencil. So a second item that that's very important in my colorings is my white pencil. So, third item, my electric eraser. For the smaller parts, I have the Tombow 01 Mono Zero. Very handy eraser. You can pull out the eraser itself by pushing the top, and I've used it on a red pencil, so it seems, a while ago, because most of the time I use my electric one. This is perfect for little small details for which this top is too big. So but for making bouquet rounds it's also usable, but of course the main usage is when I go out of the lines or when I've colored in something that's not 100% like I want it to be. I use this one. I hardly ever use a regular one like this. It's always this one or my electric one. It's battery operated. So very important materials. Next up we have my pencil sharpeners. And I'm going to grab my third one. This one is one that my dad got from someone and he donated to me. So it's a very retro, an old-fashioned sharpener, and I love it. I love the older style. I love the 80s. I was a child in the 80s, and yeah, it's such a lovely period. I don't know if this one is from the 80s. I've looked it up, but I've forgotten when it was produced. But look at that design. And it really works very well. I'm going to show it with this Color Soft. So you put it in. I haven't put it in the right direction, I think. Oh, I had to pull it out. I still have to learn to use it properly. Sorry for the peep. Okay, that will do. So I could have gone a bit further, but that peep was quite annoying. But I really love that one. I love Dale. I have the 133 also. It's a more modern one. And I've made it a bit more dreamy with this little Dalmatian from Disney. And then of course for the Prismacolor pencils, I use the Tigal. For the other pencils, most of the time I use the Dale sharpener. With the Holbeins, I'm still not sure what sharpener I prefer. This one or the Tigal, or the Dale, I'm sorry. With the Holbeins, I'm still not sure which is more economical for these pencils, because they are not open stock here in Europe. So I really want to be certain that I can have them for a long time, and I'm not sure which pencil sharpener is the most economical for them. For the other pencils, most of them are open stock, purchasable, but with, for example, my Polis or the Pablos, I don't see them shrinking, but I have the feeling that they shrink more with wax-based pencils, but maybe it's just something that I'm imagining. So I will see how it goes when working further with the Holbeins, but for now it will be testing out and seeing what my further experience will be. But these ones are really not to be missed. And I also have one little manual. It is just a simple one like this. I have a really short, I'm going to show it, a really short luminance. I bought this one quite some time ago in open stock. And as you can see, it's a teeny tiny one, and I can't sharpen it anymore in those three ones, so I have to use this one. but it's almost time to say goodbye to this one. But as far as I can keep on working with it, then I'm happy. So moving these ones aside, and then we're going to the next item, and that are my brushes. For doing backgrounds, I never do backgrounds with pencil. I would become crazy when doing so, because some pictures have such large backgrounds, so I prefer using water-based media, the Neocolors, aqua markers, acrylic paint, even regular watercolors, you name it. And for some parts it's quite okay to use a water brush, like this one is the Zich Kuretake one, small one, small point. Or for other projects it's more appropriate to use a regular brush. And for the finer details, like my golden details on, for example, a necklace, I use this small one. I've ordered myself 2 other ones, even smaller than this, because I thought in the beginning that this was still a bit too big, but I'm getting used to it. So also items that I use very much, or quite a lot, that's maybe a better expression. I'm sorry. Next item, a blender. It's only since I have my luminance pencils that I have this blender at home. Beforehand I was using the Prismacolor one or the Derwent one, and I still love those ones, but I think the Caran d'Ache, I think this one is my favorite. I use it quite a lot. Normally I would store it together with my luminance pencils to make sure that it doesn't break, but I'm very picky on this one. So I always put it on a place on my desk where it can't be harmed. And so it's around me all the time, since I've discovered how nice it works. So, but a blender, I don't always use it, because sometimes I really like the rough look that a textured paper can give to your colored pencil work. But sometimes I like the smoothness of some layering. So it's just depending on my taste at the moment. But a blender is never far away. But it's depending on the picture and on my mood and on the style that I want to give to a picture, if I'm using blenders or not. But I'm definitely a fan of this one. Next, besides a white pencil, a white gel pen. I prefer using the Signo above the Posca one, because the Posca, I don't know, it's more watery, or at least my Posca pen is, so I prefer the more opaque color of the Signo Uniball, the white one. I also have the Jelly Roll white one, but it's more a milky, also more transparent than the Signo one. It's definitely not a bad gel pen, but I prefer the white Signo. So for some highlights and stars and dotting and you name it, it's something that I use quite a lot. Next up, also a gel pen, a Jelly Roll, and this is a sparkly one. So I'm going to grab a pencil case or pencil, pencil case. And this one is used quite a lot. It contains a lot of gel pens. I have a few black file liners for when I've colored with my Prismas. and my black lines from the drawing are more faded out, I correct it with these kind of pencils. Then I have my dual hybrid metallic gel pens by Pentel. They have 2 colors in one, so it's very special. I have the Jelly Roll brand, only a few of them. I think I have 6 colors, the Stardust ones. Then I have the Sparkle Pop by Pentel, also in this pencil case. It's really a mix from those brands. I have one Spectrum Noir clear glitter gel pen, a brush pen really. It's looking like this for the people that don't know it, and it's really giving a beautiful shimmer. Then also a bronze and a gold pen. I have a Sharpie one. This one is just ordered from AliExpress. I really like glittery details. I'm addicted to glitter, but I'm also addicted to golden and bronze details, metallic details. As long as it shimmers and has some extra glitter to it, I'm in. And that's only just one way of putting glitter on my pictures. The other way is, of course, by using these little guys, the stickles. I have quite a few, and I've ordered myself some new ones. They're on their way, and I'm very excited because it are new colors. So I'm really... Mermaid Tail is one of them. I forgot to remember the other one, but the Mermaid Tail is one of them, and ooh, that seems so nice. A nice mauve, purplish, not too dark. Yeah, I'm very excited to receive that one. So I use stickles also quite a lot on my colorings. It's very handy that it has a small tube with which you can put on your glitter glue. It's really, for small details, super handy. So beside gel pens, this is a must-have if you love glitter. For backgrounds that I want to make shiny, I'm just going to take some examples. I have some metallic looking paint. It's not very visible in this bottle, but it's a bit metallically, but not too poppy. It's a very light version of a metallic paint. And I also like to use these glitter paints. These are very glittery. Also it's a very cheap bottle. They are packed with 4 like this for €2.50, I think, in my local discount shop. Very lovely. So for bigger backgrounds, but also for some details that I really want to be sparkly, and when I don't feel that I need to use stickles, I use these kinds of paints also. And then, speaking of paints, I have a few to show, different styles. I have my card besides me, so it's easy to grab them. I have many more products near me, but since I don't use them that regular, I'm not going to show these now in this video. It's only about the products that I use quite a lot, and that's my I also have the Kuretake one, so I'm really switching between some brands, but this set has besides the golden colors also a bronze one and a black gold. This is not too wow, but I love this one. But I jump from my Kuretake gold paints to this set. It's just depending on which brand I want to use. For the metallic effects, most of the time, at least since I got these, I bought them in August, I think, I use these quite a lot. They are cheap and they are amazing. They are just wow. So comparable to the Kuretake ones, I will show how they look. I've used quite a lot of this palette yesterday on a Hannah Lynn picture, and it's just fantastic. One thing that I do feel is that they are quite streaky, but the Kuretake ones can be quite streaky too. When you're looking at your picture in front, then you really have some streaks even after 2 layers of these paints. But if you turn your page and you catch the light, it's just wow. And then that streakiness, I'm not bothered with it anymore. I love the global effect of it, so addicted to these kind of paints too. I was already saying shimmer and glitter. Yes, I'm in. Then we have another type of paint. And this is the Sonne palette. My black is more grayish now. They are, feeling-wise, I'm sorry, that was my ring against the tripod. They feel the same in usage like the Kuretake ones. And these also. This is a range of black paints. Like you see, reddish black, green, yellowish black, greenish black. They are very nice, pigmented, and they feel. How can I compare? Compared to sets like this, they feel more oily. I think they are thicker. These ones are more, playable. And these ones are thicker. And from time to time, I really like to use a more thick paint. It's just depending on which detail I want to use this paint on. I did a picture in Menuet de Bonheur, I think, where I had to paint a rain jacket that a mouse was wearing, and this red was just perfect. The red from the other watercolor palette would have been too transparent, and this is more opaque, especially if you're not diluting it too much with water. So also paints, I like to play around with them. I can't miss paints. I'm not using them on all of my colorings, but I use them quite a lot. I like to mix my different media. I'm going to do it like this. Look at those bright colors. Really not too expensive. 18 euros I think this set was for 24 colors. Bought on Amazon. Really very good brand. I'm going backwards now. I'm fighting with my card here. I forgot to show one other very important palette that I use in my colorings, and that's my Paul Rubens set. And of course you all know why. I don't know if it's picking it up, but this set is one of 24 Shimmery Paints. Yeah, love them. I've seen a set of 48 colors on AliExpress, not by Paul Rubens, but another brand, I don't know it. I have to look some reviews up and see if I can find them, and they have 48 colors, and I'm so tempted to buy that one. But then I think, girl, you already have so much paints. But on the other hand, I breathe shimmer and glitter, and we only live once. So I will see what I will do with it. But I become happy when I use shimmery paints or gel pens or whatever. It's just making my colorings. It's the finishing touch. It's really the finishing touch. I'm going to take a look if I have something else that I use quite often. I don't think so. I think I have spoken about most of it. Oh, maybe this thing can be shown. It's not very excited, but acrylic paint. I use it quite a lot too, especially when I do night sky pictures. I really like to splatter around with my acrylic paints, but also I have also a black one. It's also very handy to do a background in just plain black. And then I also like to use acrylic paint or a black gesso. That's also a possibility. So I use these also quite often. So, and I think that's about it. Yeah, I can talk about markers, but yeah, as a base. But the things that I have been talking about are really almost on every picture used, and markers aren't, so maybe it's a bit unnecessary to talk about those, although this is also not used on every page. I don't always do night skies, of course, but most of the products that I have been showing are standard equipment. So I think I will leave it with this. I can't think of the word. Collection. Those collection. But if you would like to hear my thoughts on other products, definitely feel free to ask in the comments below. I will be happy to do another video about materials that I like to use. I'm going to grab something so that I have something yeah, it's more interesting than only seeing my hands. Yeah, I think that's about it really. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask them below. If you have any suggestions, don't hesitate. I would love to do a card tour, but with my setup at the moment with my tripod, which is my husband's tripod to be honest, it's not easy to film, and I don't like filming with my cell phone in my hand because it would be too shaky. Yeah, I have to think how it can be possible to do a filming of my card, but I'm not sure yet. So, okay, I'm going to finish this video now. I hope you really liked it, and I hope I will see you in the next video. Take care, everyone. Bye.